Yeah, welcome to Pot of Thunder, the recognized symbol of excellence in rock and roll podcasting, brought to you by Blue Microphones. They look great. They sound even better. And guess who's here today? You'll never guess. Do you recognize my voice?
It's our buddy Andrew.
Oh, don't you dare. Don't be so formal with me.
Here's my buddy Andy.
That's more like it. It's your buddy Andy, America's little brother.
Full on 90-degree plus mode over there with 3 buttons down.
That's right.
And a Coog, a nice cold Coog in arm's reach.
This is my life now.
Look
This
at
is
you.
how I'm doing it. Yep.
It is a Coog.
It's a Coog.
What, summer shandy?
A summer shandy.
Yeah.
I've got 3 of 7 buttons on my shirt buttons. Shorts at mid-thigh at best.
I wish they all could be California.
Okay, now that since you brought it up, that's where shorts are supposed to be, mid-thigh.
I agree with you.
If they're touching the kneecap or lower, they're a half pant or a capri. They're not shorts anymore. And don't, before you get in our grills about, you know, like the short shorts of the 70s that like they even wore in the NBA, we're not talking about that short where the hem is at the groin area. Okay? Halfway down the thigh, that's what a short is supposed to be. The rest of it is this slovenly bullshit that has just destroyed men's looks, period. And we'll also point out that the sleeves on his short sleeve shirt are the proper length. Halfway between the shoulder and the elbow.
Not all
Every
the way.
fucking half or short sleeve shirt nowadays, the sleeves are down to the elbow. That's a half sleeve. It's not a short sleeve.
That's a good point.
It looks like shit that way. Don't you agree?
It looks like a worn-out baseball tee.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It looks like shit.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Terrible. I mean, even a guy who's not even fashion conscious, put him in a short sleeve shirt with the sleeve halfway down the arm, he looks fine.
It looks better.
Half sleeve, he looks like a jackass. So,
Yeah. Summer tips for you, since, you know.
I've given these tips before.
I know,
people reject them because, again, they're slobs and they don't care what they look like.
Yeah. Well, you still got time. It's never too late to turn that corner.
Summer has just begun, technically, so.
That's right.
Yeah.
As of whatever, yesterday.
Yeah, whenever.
I think it was like 4 p.m. today is when it kicked in.
No kidding. That's how it feels. That's how I've been doing it. I don't even wear underwear anymore. I'm just wearing swim trunks every day.
With the built-in
built-in
mesh
underwear. Yeah, that's what we got going on right now.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it. Got a nice Coog here. I'm living it up.
Look at that.
This is it for the
We
rest of
don't
2020.
often have alcoholic beverages in the room when Tooge is not in person recording with us.
It's rare, but it's happening. It's going to happen for the rest of the summer.
Well, I'm kind of inspired. I look like hell over here. So I'm thinking next week I might try to come up with an outfit like that.
I'll hook you up.
At least your sleeves are proper length. The basketball shorts, well, whatever. You know.
That's a comfort thing.
Next week I'll see what I can bring.
Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna a whole week. I'm gonna be planning this outfit.
I'm going to call it now. 2020 is going to be my most nude year of my life. Least amount of clothing. I don't mean I'll be fully nude, but I'm going to say most exposed skin for an entire year, 2020. I'm at home all the time. I don't have to wear pants. I'm not going to work, you know. So I encourage everyone else to join me. Open your shirt.
Yeah, at least do that.
Mid-thigh shorts. And you know what? If you're in your own yard, no shirt. We're not doing shirts in the yard anymore. That's the other thing.
In the front yard, too?
Shirt
in the front?
Shirt
no?
in the front.
Okay.
Backyard, no shirt.
Tank top maybe in the front?
Tank top in the front is fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Either tank top or 3 of 7 buttons in the front is the rule.
Oh, yeah.
No full shirts.
I'm inspired myself here. So
see, and 4th of July is coming up. It's a perfect time to turn a new leaf, I think. Summer looks, but hey,
liberate your
your wardrobe,
your masculinity.
There you go.
Your torsonic masculinity.
It's true though. Based the stuff I was talking about, men are too covered up.
Yeah.
Well, and it's not a good look.
I do have to put one thing out there though. Something I've noticed in the last few years, as a culture, who has figured out a proper look for hot weather are Indian people. Indian men have a good look for hot weather, like the linen. But it looks dressy.
Linen is the fabric.
Yeah, absolutely.
To be sought after at this time of year.
But it has a good, clean, dressy look to it.
Of course
You're
it
talking
does.
like the long, almost like a gown.
Well, like a two-piece, like a linen pant and then some kind of decorative top, colorful decorative top.
The point is the fabric choice of linen is you can't top it for this time of year.
The right fabric and the right look. So there you go. We're getting ahead of ourselves here. We didn't even introduce you guys. We have to do it.
When you pop open a coupe in here, and I realized that's exactly what it was, it bears a discussion.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this summer shandy won't have to last us forever.
Good one.
There you go. And guess who that is?
Bam! Bam!
It's Gnarly like the Garlic Dragon. Double tapping us today.
Could you cook with summer shandy?
Yeah, you can. I
know you're not a sausage guy, so beer brats would be.
I've done. I have a recipe I've used for pizza sauce where you just dump a bottle of beer, whatever kind of beer you want.
Interesting.
Dump it in there, let it go.
It would add a lemony flavor. I'm sure
Yeah,
it would
that'd
work.
be good. I would try it. I did the winter lager.
Okay. For what was that? What was the recipe with that? Was it a dessert?
No, it was the pizza sauce.
Oh, pizza sauce.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was something.
I don't know. A lot of the alcohol in dessert, it's very few things I've had where I thought, oh, that actually gives something to it, adds something positive to the dessert. Very rarely.
Nick says,
I don't go for that shit.
Not usually, unless it's like Bananas Foster. That's about it.
Well, it's kind of a necessity in Bananas Foster, isn't it?
One time I had Bananas Foster that didn't have it. I walked right in the kitchen and I said,
how dare him? How dare him?
Right to the chef.
Just marched right in there, huh?
What if
nobody stopped?
What if you tasted it and then he said, no, there's rum in there? What would you say to him? What do you think? Do you have anything new that you might say to him if he came up to you and tried to convince you there actually was rum in the Bananas Foster?
Here's what I would say.
Ah, you're full of shit. Fuck you.
After he's tuned up on the liquor and the Bananas Foster, feeling brave.
Yep. And last but not least, we're taking our time today, aren't we? Mm-hmm. There's a guy.
Lazy summer.
Yeah, that's the way we're doing it.
Lazy, hazy, crazy days.
Yeah.
There's that guy.
Yeah, you better say my name and say it right, motherfucker.
The one, the only, the breakout star of the podcast medium, Chris L. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I've gotten requests for that clip lately, so I've been playing it for the last couple weeks, but we'll go back to the other one.
That's fine. Well, either one works.
We bounce
Somebody
back and forth.
spelled my name wrong at work in an email. It's like, it's right fucking up there. You typed my name into the address bar and it came up. And then in the body of the email, you spell it wrong.
Your first name? Or your
my last name.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say, how stupid.
I've had my first name misspelled.
How did they spell it?
They missed the K somehow.
Oh, just Nick. Like Nature Boy, Nick Jones.
Some sort of European variation.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Like Andy's outfit.
I'm the European variation of
those
Andy.
Birds in flight on that.
That's right. Yeah.
Not a bad shirt.
No, it's working for me. It's a Marshall's deal. No problem.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Deals to be had on some quality stuff over there.
All right, guys. So it's Nick's turn.
NIC apostrophe S.
And NIC, and then in parentheses, SIC.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
That's all I got.
It's Nick's turn to pick from the listener submission list. So, let me turn around here.
Last week, we played kind of hard and fast with the rules, which, after not being together in the same room for a while, seemed like the thing to do. Are you gonna pitch the rules out the window again this week, or
No, I'm gonna.
how you feeling?
I'm gonna go with the the woman battering rule. Or no, that's not what it is.
You would think, because the names are the same, but no,
Not making fun of women battering.
no, it's nothing to make fun of. The not the woman battering rapper Chris Brown, but the
Was he
drummer from the Dirty Crash.
Was he a
Chris
rapper?
Brown.
Really? Because was he like a dancer?
They call everybody rapper.
He wore many
nowadays
hats.
who are of a certain,
Persuasion.
look, if
He
you
was a
will.
rapper.
Watch our how we verbalize things these days. But
He wore many hats. He was like rapper / dancer / defendant /
well, yeah.
All right.
better get
So,
over
are
it.
you going to follow the rule? Are we doing it?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
do that.
Yeah, he's gonna.
I'm
do
gonna
it.
go back to like. I'm trying to I'm trying to stabilize things a little bit.
Okay.
Get back to some normalcy.
Yeah, that last
The-
week
the
was
old
a
normal.
seismic episode.
Yeah.
People loved it, though. People like the episodes where one or more of us hate the material.
Well,
So
that
keep
might-
that in mind
might
if
happen.
you see something that you don't like of these choices that come up. Keep that in mind.
I'm gonna.
It's not about you, Nick. It's about
not,
the listeners.
No.
That's right. All right, well, it's time. Before you come over here, yank that crank, Nick.
Oh dear.
Fire it up.
Stand by. Let's go over to the Bozo Pewter.
Restore the old normal.
Oh my gosh, I wasn't ready for such an immediate. My goodness.
Immediate rejection?
Nick did the. I don't even know what that's called. Where you
Yeah, what do they call it?
where you,
When-
you slap your elbow or your bicep or whatever, and then pull your arm up
Ah,
a 90
geez, that
degree
was instantaneous.
perpendicular.
I think it means the same thing as the middle finger.
Yeah, basically.
Mistaken.
All right, well,
I think it's an up yours move.
yeah.
The
All
means-
ultimate insult in any culture.
Boy, that was
right,
instantaneous.
well, give that crank a mini tug. All right, it is.
The suspense. This is the big one. It's where you got a decision to make. He just sighed heavily. Now he's looking at Andy.
It's gonna be number 3.
It's gonna be.
Can't-
number 3.
Can't go with the second one, huh? Wow. Now, last week, Andy revealed the Bushwick songs.
Yeah,
So that's your discretion. You can if you want.
we have to officially Bushwick that one though.
Yeah.
Move along to the next trick.
Two just out the window.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm just not even looking at it. Andy's gonna tell us what the third one is.
Wow, what a day!
Is it shitty?
I didn't see it yet. Hold on. Nope, it's not. Okay.
Oh,
Well, it'll be for you guys to
is it
decide.
better than the first two, in your opinion?
Yes.
Okay.
So they were that bad. Huh?
They weren't. Well, they weren't. I don't. One of them I didn't know. The other one I don't really care about.
Yeah. I had the same
So-
feeling, so I'm glad you're with me. But I think you'll be very pleased, and
Okay.
I think everyone, well,
So this-
most of the people
this may
listening
have
are
worked out.
already pleased. So let's turn the microphone over to Chris Jericho,
All right, Hamlin. This one's called
Rock Soldiers,
Off of
Frehley's Comet,
Oh my!
by the band.
Ace Frehley.
We've done an Ace solo cut before, but it was a cover. So people have been clamoring for Kiss solo cuts for pretty much the entirety of season 2. So.
And there's plenty of that on the list. Like,
There's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, and it makes sense since there's the Kiss connection to most of the episodes.
I'm surprised more haven't come up. Like some of the Peter Criss stuff, the Gene Simmons. I mean, there are solo albums
There's
by
there's
all
a
those guys.
Good amount of Bruce solo stuff too on there.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I know I personally haven't rejected any, so...
Yeah,
No,
I guess
I
it was a
don't-
matter of time before one
Yeah.
of these popped up. But let's see, we're clicking around here. Nick, this is an album you listen to, I don't know,
A few times.
a few times a day for our entire lives. What do you want to tell us about it?
Well, opening track. This is an Ace vocal, which I don't know. I guess we could get a discussion going, at least on social media, how people feel about the inclusion of one Todd Howarth taking over lead vocals for nearly half the songs on this album and Second Sighting.
I was going to say, do you think that that was his intention from the beginning? Like he wants to sing, but he also wants someone else who can take the leads.
I would think so. I mean, I don't know if that's Ace's decision or is that
Producer's decision.
or Eddie Trunk maybe. I don't know. Well, he it was Megaforce.
Yeah,
and Eddie
yeah.
Trunk was
Yeah.
a big player behind it.
Yeah.
I don't know where that decision came from, but I mean, Todd Howarth's a great singer. He's kind of falls into the Geddy Lee category for some people. But I don't
So
know.
this is Ace's first solo LP out of the band?
yeah, this is the
And
first.
this is the opening cut.
This is
the
it.
the
First
the
thing you hear.
opening salvo of his post-Kiss career.
Took him long enough. 1987. What was he doing?
Well, considering
I think I know the answer to what he was doing, but
considering that was it Anomaly came out in like I'm gonna guess here like 07,
09.
09.
Yep.
And it was his first album, studio album, like proper studio album, and it referenced or it had a tribute to Eric Carr on the back because he hadn't come out with a proper solo studio album since Eric Carr was alive.
That's incredible.
So I mean he's been kind of in high gear the last decade or so though. He's come out with a few. He's pretty rapid fire.
Yeah, he has been. He's been active for sure.
More so than I'd say any of the other, anybody else related to Kiss as far as solo stuff goes.
For sure.
Well, yeah, outside of the band, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What do you want to say? Anything else about? I mean, more about Todd? Or are you done with Todd? Any other points to make with Todd?
No, not really.
No.
I mean, I just wanted to. I don't know that he necessarily would be listening right now, but I'd like to thank Chris and Joe Polo from the podcast Rock City, who gave me donate a little bit of cash at the Kiss Expo. Very generously, so that I could get Ace's autograph on my copy of the CD.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Nick
And
said,
I got all 4 of them that day.
Nick said, I'm not going to do it. And then Chris and Joe said,
They dropped those 20s on me like that. Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that.
So that was got all 4 of them in one day. Pretty awesome. Got this
on your
deal.
original copy, right? You
My
brought it with
original
you.
CD. I didn't go buy a vinyl copy or anything fancy. I just brought my CD because that was like my copy that I loved from
Your original copy.
from Woodmar Records.
The one that he listened to every day for 100
So
years.
I'm like, I'm just gonna take that. It's a CD. It's tiny, but whatever. By comparison,
Yeah, that's got plenty of room for 4 signatures. I mean,
yeah, it was great.
And I know we talked about that in detail, but that must have been a cool experience for you at that expo when Frehley's Comet reunited and performed.
It was, yeah, and I mean, Ace played all right.
Yeah.
He wasn't like at top of his game or anything like that, but it was still, it was.
Ace probably popped a couple Cougs before he went out there.
He may have. I think he kicked a cooler full of Cougs on his way off the stage. Booted a Coug. But no, it was like for me like a historic thing to get to see. Yeah. So no matter, I mean, the other guys played great. Ace kind of was a little shaky, but it didn't really matter.
Isn't that funny? Like those guys had nothing to do with him for how many years, and they all came out. I don't mean to be negative, but they all came out fully prepared. And Ace came out like, yeah, we'll jam on my tunes. I think I remember them.
Yeah, I think anybody with realistic expectations would have expected that.
Yeah.
And been pleasantly surprised had he exceeded those expectations, but that wasn't going to happen. I mean, let's face it.
I was disappointed, too, when I guess they couldn't get the keyboard working and they didn't play It's Over Now.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, I remember there was some kind of issue with it.
They couldn't get the keyboard working.
One of the power ballads, if you call it a power ballad, one of the ones that I like. So
yeah,
too bad we didn't get an explosion from Ace on the sound guy like that one on the internet. What did he say? Turn the fucking guitar up, you idiot. Something like that.
I think so.
That's great. And a lot of people didn't agree with me. They're like, oh, you don't talk to the sound crew like that. They're working hard. It's like they're fucking everything up. Fuck these guys. You can't get a fucking keyboard working. You should be yelled at over the mic, and in fact dragged out of the venue and beaten in the nearest area outside of the venue. I mean, get your shit together. Get me fucking sound guys. They're always ruining everything.
I think
you're not supposed to speak up about it, especially when you're Ace friggin' Frehley.
Yeah.
Kiss my ass.
Well, this sounds like a remnant from when Chris was signed to Death Row Records back in the 90s.
Yeah, right.
Since you brought it up, let's listen to it. I've got it right here.
Turn the fucking guitar up, you idiot.
I love that. It's like, just get it done, figure it out. These guys, the monitor guys, I can't hear anything in my monitor. There's a whole fucking crew of monitor guys over there. What is the point of a monitor to hear something? There's nothing coming out of it. Plug it in. Turn up the volume on it. So stupid.
Ace also said,
what a shithead.
Now, there's a funny reason I just played that, because I organized just quickly all the clips by date, and I went to the bottom, and that clip, the date is June 15th, 1997. That's how old that clip is.
Oh.
So there you go.
Do you even know where it came from?
I think I downloaded it off of a website that just had probably that and Austin Powers clips were on there.
Yeah.
Just random profanity sound clips.
Yeah. Profanity from movies. All right. So, are you guys ready to get into this? We ready to do it?
Yeah, I guess
ready
so.
to hear Anton. Right
ready
off the
to
bat.
hear Anton, yeah.
All right.
Well, Nick's hero.
Well, let's do it as soon.
It's I just want to get the songwriters there. It's Ace Frehley and Chip Taylor.
Fuck is Chip
Do
Taylor?
we know who Chip Taylor
I wish
is?
it was Rip Taylor.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, he wrote Wild Thing, so he's got quite a history. So
Get out of here, really?
Yeah, he was
the guy
in the
was in the
Trogs.
Trogs?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. So he's
Interesting
no
tidbit.
lightweight. I just couldn't. I didn't recognize the name.
Rip Taylor.
I wonder how those two came together. Chip Taylor.
Probably over a pile of drugs.
Yeah, no shit.
I guess.
It was like Lady and the Tramp with the spaghetti.
Yeah,
The connected noses.
He's the one. Yeah, right. Yeah. He's the one
Eskimo
who
kissing each other.
Yeah, he's the one who talked Ace out of retirement over several piles of nose whiskey.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's dive in as soon as we.
1987.
Yes, 87. First, a word from our sponsors. Wow, those are some bad sponsors.
Man, that sponsor.
All Not
You wouldn't believe what that sponsor said to us on a conference call before we started recording this episode.
extremely offensive.
We can't really, we
They'd
can't
be
say
canceled.
it. Yeah, I mean, and we'd be sued, so we can't say it.
And can you believe that ethnic caricature that they wanted to use on their packaging? Oh my gosh! Some people never learn.
So I don't know what the Polish ever did to them, but
I didn't even know Orville Redenbacher was even still in business.
All right.
Oh boy, stopping it already.
well, I mean, it's appropriate what's going on here because rock soldiers, and we've got a march going on already. We've got a march beat.
I've heard this my entire life almost, and I just realized that after you said it. I'd never put that together. Never made that connection.
Well, that's
Soldiers marching.
Yeah,
Makes sense. And it's Anton. Your
and
guy.
it's Anton. Well, I mean, come on.
Was he already on He was on Letterman already, right?
Yeah.
Did he take a leave to do Ace stuff, or did he not really tour with Ace? I don't even know.
The Live Plus One album features him, so I believe he did tour somewhat with him, but pretty sure he was on Letterman already at this point. Because I actually, in watching some old Letterman clips, just sometimes I'll do that on YouTube. They would actually feature Anton sometimes in their silly little stuff. It would be like the drummer, I forget the names of the sketches, but
I remember
like the
those
drummer
vaguely.
learns how to read or something like that, and he's crying because he can't read or something.
Okay.
Like just silly little Letterman-esque kind of sketches.
You know what was weird when they used to do? They have a musical guest, and they would just have like two guys from the band play with Letterman's band. Like they had Van Halen. and
Right.
It was Eddie and David Lee Roth playing with Paul Schaefer, and
I don't think
Anton.
Roth was on.
was it not?
I think the one time Eddie Van Halen was on, he just sat in with the band, and then they did a song or two. I don't think Roth
I don't
was
know.
ever on
I've
Letterman,
not
was
that
he?
not that I remember.
Hagar
seeing.
might have been.
Maybe.
I know Eddie did that on SNL. He played with G.E. Smith in the band
Yeah.
on one episode, but
But they did that thing on Letterman sometimes where they would play the single, and it's like it's not even the band. It's
Right.
like the house band playing it with someone from the band.
during the Q&A, somebody asked at the expo that we saw Anton at. Somebody asked him what was like, generic question about like his proudest moments in his career, and one of them I remember him saying was James Brown came in, and he's known for being a real stickler and having the best band around, and he rehearsed with Paul Schaefer's band, and he told his band, "You guys don't have to worry about working tonight. Like you're not going to be on. These guys got it."
Wow.
So
Night off.
yeah,
They probably didn't get paid though.
No. No, I don't
James
think they
kept the
probably
money.
didn't take that too well. But
No.
who knows?
All right.
really great chord progression. Really kind of menacing and has a darkness to it. Always loved it. Really tough sounding kind of a thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely sonically, I would say there's a Creatures vibe to this. The drum sound and also the guitar sound and the guitar progression there. That's my first impression.
Yeah, I never really thought about that, but that makes perfect sense.
I mean, I'm familiar with the song. Just I've seen the video a few times on probably Headbangers Ball, but I never owned this album or anything. But definitely getting a Creatures vibe from the production.
Like the kick drum, you can hear like it's not just like a thud. You can hear the
like the skins.
Yeah, you can hear
vibrating.
Everything. It's like a marching band, almost like the big bass drum in a marching band.
Yeah, which
it's got some resonance.
To get a good drum sound in the 80s for this genre of music is actually, unfortunately, somewhat of a rarity. So do we know who produced this thing?
I think it's Eddie Kramer.
Really?
I'll be embarrassed if I'm wrong. Let's see.
I mean, that would make sense because it sounds good, but I wasn't sure he'd... I mean, I don't know. For whatever reason, I'm thinking he would be above this project, having been experienced with Ace and knowing what he was getting into. But
Co-produced by Eddie Kramer.
wow, I wonder how much
Who's the other one?
cashola they had to fork
Ace
over
and
for
Johnny
this.
Z.
Who the hell is Johnny Z?
The only other thing I know, that's Roy Z. Never mind. There's a Dickinson album that there's a guy named Roy Z. Johnny Z.
Johnny
Does he own-
Zazula.
Johnny
He owned the
Zazula.
sports bar up the street.
Oh,
Danny Z.
he's the guy who kind of discovered
Danny
Metallica.
Z. Right.
He's the guy. He founded Megaforce.
Yeah.
He kind of found Metallica.
Yeah.
I don't even
that
know
guy.
who Danny Z is, but I can tell you he's a prick. Just by going with that name.
For the sports bar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was back in the summer of '83. There's a reason I remember it well. I was slipping and sliding, drinking and driving, and bringing me closer to hell.
So we have Ace ultimately rapping here.
I was just about to say that, the rapper Ace Frehley.
That's right.
No, I don't know if this was before Dee Dee Ramone went rap, went all full on rap. Probably after Dee Dee Ramone, but
yeah.
And it was of
I
course
think it's
after All Hell's Breaking
All Hell's-
Loose and all
yeah.
that. So not unprecedented, but pretty interesting to hear Ace doing it.
Yeah, well, I mean, unless he was really putting in the effort, he was never much of a singer. So, I mean, a lot of his stuff was glorified spoken word stuff. But
He has that unique voice, though.
well, sure,
It's-
absolutely.
It's not like a Fred Schneider kind of a thing. It's,
Well, no.
it's a little more.
There's
than
only
that.
one Fred Schneider. Let's just
I can't wait till we
establish
get
that
some
now.
Fred Schneider.
I think
Oh.
there is a B-52 song.
There should be
on there, I
more.
think.
There's only one.
I
There
think
should
there's
be
only
their
one,
entire
yeah.
catalog should be on there.
and his solo works. as
Well, that should be above, I think, the B-52 stuff. That's just
I
me.
would enjoy that. I've never heard any of it.
Oh, well, we're going to rig it next week.
That guy's a borderline, if not full on American treasure. Fred Schneider, that guy's great, man. His whole delivery is the old stuff. Rock Lobster, that was a staple at every high school dance.
It's a great song.
It had that. No dance was complete without that. Absolutely, and everybody loved it. It didn't matter if you were, what we used to call burnouts back in the day. The kids would smoke cigarettes and God knows what else in the courtyard between classes. Everybody loved Rock Lobster, and as such, the B-52s. They were one of those bands that got a pass from everybody, and deservedly so.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And the devil sat in the passenger side of DeLorean's automobile.
I saw a big eye roll.
Yeah, I mean these lyrics are really just kind of pedestrian. I'll put it politely. That yeah, I mean I don't know.
So we already have bringing him closer to hell, and the devil sitting there in the DeLorean with him. Mm-hmm. And I believe his
it's
big
about
accident
as close to
wasn't-
hell as you can get.
I believe
devil riding shotgun.
I believe it was a DeLorean that his big accident was.
It was.
That he was actually driving one. The only other celebrity.
And we wonder why he's broke nowadays. But anyway,
I learned recently the only other celebrity I can think of who actually owned a DeLorean was Jim Varney.
He did too?
He did.
Wow.
They said in Tennessee, if you saw a DeLorean, it was Jim Varney.
God.
Who said that? They said. Like it's such a common phrase.
He's just the entertainment press in general. Said that often.
The Associated
Yeah,
Press.
yeah.
said
Robin Leach of
It's in the Hollywood
Lifestyles
Reporter.
of the Rich and Famous.
Yeah.
His whole crew, a.k.a. they, said that often.
There's a guy.
In fact, it said that on the Welcome to Tennessee sign whenever you cross the state line. If you see a DeLorean, Jim Varney's driving it. Didn't list the mayor's name. It just mentioned that Jim Varney would be driving a DeLorean if you saw one in the state.
I'm reading about DeLoreans. Not known for their safety,
No.
apparently. Is what
I'm not a
Gee,
car.
that's a shocker.
Not a big car guy, but it's the only Irish-made car that I can think of.
I didn't even know that. I know it's aluminum, right? Wasn't that the thing? It doesn't never rusted. It was aluminum. That was one of the
Yeah.
Yeah, and
selling
those are the
points.
ones that doors open like up.
Yeah.
You know,
it's the Back to the Future car.
seems that you would be easily ejected from that in a rollover accident if it happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, Irish, not known for two things: car building and their enormous cocks. They're just not known for these things. So.
Say, Frehley, let's not be silly. There's a life out there to steal.
See, now here's some more. This is just adding to the confusion in terms of how you pronounce Ace's name. I always said it as Ace Frehley, you know, which I think that's just how I heard Paul say it on Live 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
Then we get Frehley's Comet, which I always said Frehley's Comet, and never until recently put two and two together and realized it's supposed to rhyme with Haley's Comet.
Yeah.
Which makes total sense.
I've also heard Halley's Comet, but I don't think that's right.
Well, that's just an asshole.
Yeah.
That's just somebody trying to be a contrarian. It's not that. It's Haley's Comet.
Yeah.
And it's so obvious, but it just never occurred to me that you have Frehley's Comet. So now it makes sense. Here he's rhyming his last name with silly.
Yeah.
So which is it? Does it matter even?
Doesn't matter.
Frehley.
I think we discussed this.
Ace Frehley.
Ace Frehley, yeah, during the Dynasty
Yeah,
period.
I was just
he was a
about to
bit
say,
frilly.
He was a bit frilly.
On one of the first episodes we did of Pot of Thunder, we talked about this, and
Yeah.
then we played a clip where he said, it's Frehley, like Haley's
Right.
Comet. Yeah. But
And that makes sense.
But you're right. It's like a total split between Kiss fans. And I think it has to do with the way people heard Paul with his accent yell his name on a Live 2.
Right, but then he's rhyming it with silly.
Yeah.
So
Well, and
further muddying the waters.
To confuse
if you
me
will.
even more, when I would
Which
hunt,
doesn't take much.
No. When I would hunt for this album or any album by him at the old record stores, it would always be behind or right in front of the Glenn Fry area. And I never heard of Glenn Fry, so I thought it was,
belong to the city.
I always thought it was Glenn Frey because I'm looking
well,
for
there you
Frehley, and I'm like, who's this Glenn Frey? There's a million CDs of
makes
his,
sense.
but no, there's the card stock that says Ace Frehley and nothing there.
It's the
Most of
politics of contraband. It's the smuggler's blues. Boy, he put out a lot of crap in his solo career, didn't he?
And you know what? We have to say it. One of the songs that got rejected was Glenn Fry. Not that
Tonight?
song. Yeah, but not that song.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting.
That is
Wow.
interesting.
But yeah, the smuggler's blues. What a bunch of crap he's writing about. How stupid is Glenn Fry's solo material was shit. Let's just say it. I mean, come on. The fucking heat is on. It's a stupid sax line. And look, for me to hate a sax line says a lot. I mean, just go down the list of his solo material. Garbage.
Well, I just associate him with the disappointment of not finding an Ace Frehley CD.
Well, that's reasonable. Associating Glenn Fry with disappointment, I can get on board with that.
There's a life out there to steal. Rock soldiers come. Rock soldiers go. Some hear the drum. And some never know. Hey, rock soldiers. How do we know? Ace is back and he told you so.
Perhaps the first time we hear Ace Frehley use a whammy bar.
Oh, and he had
the
that
official release.
Just absolutely hideous signature model from Washburn.
Oh yeah,
it had like the
white and
lightning bolt, that black and white thing. Oh my god, that's one of the worst.
I kind of like
looking
the old
guitars
pictures
ever.
with those.
Yeah, when he's like backed up against a wall of speaker cabinets or whatever. That might be the worst looking guitar in history. Even if it didn't have that paint job, just the shape of it.
I don't really mind it. I maybe just because of seeing it with Ace all those years.
No, it's crap. Yeah, look at that piece of shit. I mean, that's just a joke. Who gets the drawings of that? It's like, yeah, I like that one. I'll take that.
I mean, it looks like
that's a piece of shit.
It looks like
it's terrible.
It's of the time because it looks just like the sunglasses that the black guy would wear in Mannequin. So it was hot.
Okay, now I see it differently. Okay. If that was the thinking behind it, then it's excused. Any other conceptualizing of that guitar is unacceptable. Complete garbage. I mean, that thing looks like crap. Come on.
Yeah.
It's just a terrible looking guitar. That just goes to show you what kind of mental state he was in during this time. Completely shot.
So we had just musically wanted to... The bass, very prominent, Mr. John Regan. Basically, I always, especially after seeing them, I'd heard this before, but after seeing them play, I got a glimmer, or a glimpse rather, of the fact that he's the general on the stage.
Yeah.
John Regan does call the shots, and he makes it happen on the stage.
That makes sense, because this last time out, he looked like somebody's dad. Which, hey, I'm certainly not somebody who's aged well either, but we're not talking about me right now. Yeah. We're talking about Joe Regan, John Regan. He looked like everybody's dad up there, which makes sense. Which he looked the part of being the general, and just completely exasperated at the nonsense that was going
Unfortunately,
on the part of the front man. He just flat out, in the parlance of our times, zero fucks given by Ace at that thing.
Yeah. Well, the one that we saw them at, Ace was well behaved at least, but then there was that in Jersey when that happened? I don't know.
When he yelled at the sound.
Yeah, I think so.
Again, not his fault. Okay, I get so much flack from people taking the sound guy's side of this. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? This is Ace Frehley we're talking about, or Frehley, or Frilly, or whatever, however you pronounce it.
I'll call him Frilly going forward.
Ace Fry.
You're gonna take the side of a guy who can't even plug in a fucking keyboard for Ace Frehley's return performance of Frehley's Comet?
Yeah.
Fuck that, man. He should have not only, again, yelled at over the mic, they should have dragged him on stage and beat him with something significant, like the keyboard itself, whipped him with the cord that should have been plugged in but wasn't somehow. I mean, come on. Who takes the sound guy's side ever?
Well, we got
fucking ridiculous.
We got more ranting here.
Total fucking dookie.
Exactly.
I guess it
exactly right. These are the support staff. You're supposed to have your shit together.
Total waste of skin and life.
It's the very definition of that cliche. You had one job. Yeah. Plug in the fucking keyboard. Oh, you're the monitor guy? Guess what a monitor's supposed to do? Send sound my way. I can't hear my guitar out of the monitor. What the fuck is going on?
You guys deserve way better than this jerk did tonight. I'm sorry.
It's exactly right. Mustaine was handed a guitar that was out of tune. What are you doing back there? It's your fucking job.
It's not wrong.
No, it's not.
Maybe it'll be in Hawaii when we luau this fat pig's ass.
That's the greatest. It doesn't get any better than that. It's amazing. Amazing that he decided to do that, and he just nailed the performance, basically, up to and including his fumbling with the phone, trying to cut off the video recording capability at that point. But seriously, man, if you're siding with some shit sound guy over Ace Frehley, over malfunctions on the stage, your priorities are way out of whack.
Mm-hmm. I guess
there's no politeness or decorum at that point. You fucked up your only job. You deserve to be just eviscerated.
It's funny how that's a thing that people seem to want to argue about, because you guys bringing this up made me think of something that I saw recently. I'm on these Mike Patton fan Facebook groups.
Oh, boy.
And there's a video from like 2010 or something where a sound guy messes something up. And he comes behind him and he slaps the guy on the head and yells at him. And people are like, that's abuse. He should have been arrested. Like, people are going on and on. I'm like, dude, he's like telling the guy to stop whatever he was doing because he was messing with the monitor. He's like on his knees in front of him. And it was such a, like, it was like 100 comment argument about how you need to leave the sound guy alone. And then
piss on that.
Yeah, it was like,
piss on that.
This isn't like a social justice thing.
Fuck
we can
that.
calm down.
I saw the only artist that I've seen march. I saw it in person. I think I told this years ago on the podcast, but I'll tell it again. I saw one artist in my life so far march over during the set to the sound guy, and it was quite a ways. It was a festival. Mm-hmm. It was Ravinia. It was Peter from Peter, Paul, and Mary.
I don't remember this story.
He was a tiny man marching all the way through.
Peter Tork looking guy of the trio?
Yeah, because Paul is the tall guy, and then Peter's the short guy.
And Mary's Mary.
Mary's Mary, yeah. And marching down because they had they had little solo spots.
New respect for Peter.
And he marched through the aisle.
Good. I love this.
And was berating the sound guy.
Good. Love it.
That's great.
Who was about 100 yards from the stage.
I absolutely love it.
It's the complete opposite vibe of what you'd expect from Peter, Paul, and Mary,
Yes,
but it needed to be done.
When we saw Gene at the Park West, he was yelling at the lighting guy. He's like, turn the fucking yellow light off during the set. It's right in my eyes. It's like, he said it to him once and he kept doing it. It's like, there's no more politeness at that point.
That's true.
Get your fucking shit together.
He said, what is this, a dentist office?
Yeah, exactly. But he had to say it to him repeatedly.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck the delicate approach. These people need to be public. We're in first of all, we're in an era of public shaming. People love
that. Is currency right now. Yeah.
But apparently sound guys do not qualify for that. Fuck you. You can't give a curly slap to some dickhead who's on his knees fumbling around with a monitor while you're trying to perform. Fuck that. He should have taken the toe of his shoe in a cheekbone for doing that. Fuck that shit, man. Fucking unbelievable, man. Take it easy on the sound guy. Fuck the sound guy.
New shirt available.
Hey, how a shirt like that hasn't been printed up anymore since then is astonishing.
It may actually happen now.
Well, there's the revenue stream from that is gone. If you've read Live Nation, have you read their new stipulations? How they're shifting all the risk onto the performer and like cutting down their guarantees because of COVID and all this crap. It's like there's not going to be any revenue to be had, period, from a live show for anybody who is actually involved in putting on the entertainment. All these fucking promoters and the Ticketmaster and all this stuff. It's like, we should shuffle back to through all their virtue signaling since the beginning of the year and see how many times they drop the phrase "we're in this together."
Yeah,
it's complete horseshit.
Well, I'm sure they're taking care of the secondhand brokers, but not the artists.
Well, they're taking care of the sound guys. I'm sure they're getting paid. That was always how it was up in the city. The sound guys got paid before the band did.
Yeah,
fuck that, man. Fucking unbelievable. I'm starting to get an ELO level of anger. You talk to me about sound guys. Piss on those motherfuckers. Fucking hate those guys. I mean, it's like they're like sports writers. They give their left nuts to be the people that they're working for. And because they're not, they passive aggressively take out their frustrations on the people they're working for. Do your job or fucking take a walk. Seriously,
take a walk.
I fucking hate this sound guys. It's so ridiculous.
I sent you guys the slap clip just so you have the reference for later. But let's continue.
Satan on my right. We went wrong way down.
Who was in the mirror?
The trooper.
The trooper. Oh, like he got pulled over?
I like to think it's Eddie.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, the trooper in the mirror. Satan on his right. Another reference to the demonic.
Yeah.
Full of them.
So it would have been one of those moves where when he pulls him over, the trooper walks up to the driver's side and shines the flashlight on the guy in the passenger seat. Who's your friend over there?
It's Satan.
Who's your friend in the devil costume? Oh, no, that's really him. Step out of the car, please. Have you been drinking tonight, sir?
Well, now we got to post the Barry Manilow picture on social media. Well, have you been drinking tonight?
Right.
No, when he says Satan, do you think he's making a is it someone physically there, like a bad influence, or is it just like the devil on my shoulder?
I'm thinking it's the devil on my shoulder, and it's Ace seems to be. I don't know if it's a recent thing, but I remember in the Hall of Fame speech he mentioned something about addiction being a disease, and it's sort of like you can't help it. You know, like that's kind of the stance that he's making, and I'm almost thinking that that's what he's referring to. His addiction.
That's the devil,
is the devil on his shoulder.
Either that, or he's just so intoxicated that he actually thinks he's seeing the devil next to him. I mean, there's a number of different interpretations here, but I think any of them could be viable.
He might have been.
It's kind of like the pronunciations of his last name. Any of them could apply in any given situation.
Could have been that he was at a hotter than hell-esque party beforehand, and some weirdo in a Satan costume ended up
tagging
a ride
along
with them.
Going to the liquor store with him.
Yeah.
Go get some more Cougs.
Good thing he didn't end up like Razzle.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Hanoi Rocks.
Yeah, I mean, what the song is about.
Can you kill Satan? Although it was just a guy in a Satan suit, so I guess you could kill him.
I mean, I'm picturing John Lovitz as Satan
right,
on
exactly.
SNL.
So am I. Walking away from a fiery crash. Well, that was a close one. Yeah, I don't know if you can kill Satan.
I don't think so.
I don't think Satan has a physical form.
Well, in this case, he does. So what's going on here?
There's
so much to think about.
Again, in the parlance of our times, there's a lot to unpack here.
Go home and watch The Howling Man. Get a perspective on this.
Yeah.
Is that a werewolf movie?
Yeah. Well, it's a Twilight Zone episode.
Oh,
where they capture Satan.
I was thinking of a movie that we watched with one of our friends, and I couldn't wait to go home from his house. You guys ever get stuck like that, where you're at someone's house watching a movie, and you're like, "My God, I can't wait to get out of here." Like when you're young, that would never happen now. But when you're late teens or early 20s, like, please get me out of here.
I did that to somebody, not on purpose, but that's how it went.
You were the guy?
Yeah, I was the guy.
What did you make them watch?
It was our friend, not Tom Codal, but our other friend Tom, who Andy sees once in a while.
I saw him today.
He was over, a couple other people, and I was like, what movie do I put on? I know. The Sweet and Low Down.
I don't even know what that is.
The Sean Penn, Woody Allen movie about a jazz guitar player.
Oh,
I thought this should be entertaining.
You were playing to your audience.
I thought I
was.
was.
Guitar playing
but
audience.
It was absolutely just zero enthusiasm.
Well, it happens. You learn from your mistake.
Sometimes you blow it. Yeah.
All right.
The one-way road hitting everything in sight.
He was hitting things with his car?
Yeah, man. Pinball.
That's what happened to me. The first car I ever bought with my own money, man, was parked on the side of the road, and it was one of like 6 or 7 cars that all got sideswiped. Some drunk asshole who did exactly what's being described here. Probably had a John Lovitz look-alike and was riding shotgun at the time.
Was Ace's DeLorean called the Pinball? That would be a great name.
That would be. It's bright and silver. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
ramming into everything.
Maybe he just had a hard time parallel parking in the city. Just dinging bumpers all day long.
It's more of a suburbs guy.
Yeah, these were in the days before the sensors in the cars that would go off when you came close to anything. But yeah, that was like a gut punch, man. I came out the next morning and saw all these cars just wrecked, and I just again took a knee. I literally my legs gave out from under me when I saw that. I was like, oh man. I had the car for like 3 months. Toyota Celica.
That was
a nice car.
It's a good car. Did you get it fixed or just
no?
leave it?
It was totaled.
Oh, it was totaled.
Yeah, the whole fucking driver's side was torn off of it.
Oh my god!
And I didn't have. I was a broke college kid. I had liability. That's it. I didn't have collision.
So you got nothing for it.
Yeah, I got nothing. It was gone.
Just leave it there, huh?
Amazingly enough, I drove it in that condition from Kalamazoo to East Lansing, like an hour and a half on the highway. Somehow was able to get it back to East Lansing, but it was gone after that. Devastating.
I cried, I am invincible. Said I was high above the law. But my only high was just a lie. And now I'm glad I saw.
Ace has a bit of a Rockwell delivery on this.
A little bit, yes.
Yeah.
But I was high above the law. That could have been in a Rockwell song.
That's true.
Certainly his best known song.
Yeah, that's the only one I know. Wasn't there a telephone line too? There's 2 songs I could think
No,
of.
that was ELO. You're thinking what was it? Dirty phone calls or something like that.
Yeah, you're right.
Obscene phone call.
Obscene phone call, maybe. I don't know.
I hope the title is Obscene.
I think it was Obscene. Andy's on it right now.
I need to find out. Rockwell, you got 2 songs. What's the second one called? All right. Who do these people think they are calling themselves Rockwell? There's only one Rockwell.
Get out
There's
of
like
here.
50 artists.
Oh no!
Don't
Get
do
out
that
of here.
No.
There's
no rules apparently.
Is there a is there a classic rock cover band that's going to be playing at a festival called El DeBarge somewhere nearby? It's certain names you can't take.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Tom Lounges is going to book a band called the Beatles in one of his next throwdowns in the area.
All right, Nick. It was called Obscene Phone Caller.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
Well, next week on Pot of Thunder.
Yep, that's the B.
Have you guys ever been quote unquote victim of an obscene phone call?
No, I had a weird prank phone call situation when I was in college where someone wouldn't stop calling me and being a weirdo, but it wasn't obscene.
Yeah, I can't recall ever
it was more
receiving one.
Place I worked at used to get it semi-regularly. It was first thing in the morning, too.
That's great.
Now, were these like sexually obscene or was it just foul language?
I think it was sexually. It was always a woman had to answer it, and then he would go into it, I guess. Yeah.
So if a guy answered, he'd ask, do you have any ELO CDs in stock? And then he'd come in. But, yeah.
No, it was... I don't remember it happening for a long period of time, but I remember a few mornings working there. Yeah, that guy called again. First thing in the morning.
I love that it's whoever this guy is starts his day by an obscene phone call to the bookstore to a female. Some people have
the practice of flashing is a very 60s, 70s thing. Yeah. Somebody walking around in a trench coat. First of all, if you see them in a trench coat, it's like, this guy's going to flash me. There's no subterfuge going on there.
Were you ever flashed?
I was never flashed, no.
Andy, were you ever flashed?
I don't think so. I was with a guy who flashed people.
I've seen the video.
Again, it's a different thing when you're delivering the objectionable behavior versus being on the receiving end of it.
Yeah, I was holding the camera. I was an accomplice to a crime, apparently.
Yeah, that's a throwback.
That's a crime.
Obscene phone calls, flashing, streaking.
So here's how this one went. There's a guy standing outside of a bar smoking a cigarette. My friend gets out. This was his plan. He wanted to flash people in a trench coat. So he gets out of the car in a trench coat, flashes the guy like 6 feet from him, like got out and walked close to him and flashed him.
Which would be perfectly acceptable given the CDC rules right now.
Yeah, right.
Kept a safe distance. And the guy didn't even react. He didn't like step back or anything. And he just goes, "Is that the biggest dick we got in town?" And then just kept smoking his cigarette, and that was it.
That guy absolutely won that altercation.
Yeah, you can't beat that. Just walk
that's
away.
Got to keep a cool head under duress.
Yeah,
that guy should be emulated in everybody's day-to-day behavior.
Soldiers come, rock soldiers go.
What does he say? Some hear the drum,
yeah,
and some never know.
Just rhyme.
What does that mean?
I don't
some
think
never know what the drum sounded like because they didn't hear it. Is that what he means?
They're soldiers who didn't march to the
they didn't hear
drum.
They didn't.
But then are they soldiers?
I don't think they're soldiers if they didn't hear the drum.
Okay, but what does the rock soldiers have to do with the tale of his drunken car wreck? How do those two things?
I don't know, but it's I think a pretty great gimmick because first song on the first album, and then the fan club. I'm pretty sure if you were in the fan club, you were a rock soldier.
It's pretty good. If you're gonna have a name,
I mean, unless he's talking about other hard rock, well, not necessarily hard rock, but other musicians who had passed away from a debaucherous lifestyle.
That's how I'm taking it. And people who didn't pass away, just people who were living that life. Okay. They're all the rock soldiers, and some make it and some don't.
All right.
Is the way
that
it
makes
be.
Sense.
Like in a war, which is kind of...
No, that makes sense. That's a good explanation for it.
It makes sense, but it's a little like self-inflicted versus an actual war, but whatever.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
It's not... Yeah, right.
All right. The biggest dick we got in town.
Yeah. This is not storming the beaches of Normandy.
Yeah.
This is, getting fucked up and dying by misadventure occasionally.
It's you played the Dave Mustaine clip. It's making me think of The Killing Road off the Euthanasia album, just basically about how hard it is to survive being in a touring band for years and years.
Yeah, seems like the same theme.
Hey, rock soldiers, how do we know? Ace is back and he told me so.
What do you guys think of the Hup 2 3 4?
I'm pretty sure he says Hup 2 3 4, Rock 2 3 4.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what I've always heard.
And that's leading into the solo.
Yep. We're getting our
that's what we're doing.
Very first Ace Frehley non-Kiss solo. How about it?
Yeah.
Have you guys ever heard any of the stuff from before this album, like the demos and all the? No. There's an interesting song called "The Girl Can't Dance," and to my ears, always sounded like it was Ace Frehley doing a sort of a Police song.
Okay.
So, just a random thing that I thought was interesting from this era. Yeah,
that's cool. You guys ready for the solo?
Yeah, Nick's heard it before, so
I'm sure
he's ready. I mean, I've heard it before. I'm not familiar with it, but I mean, it's not coming back to me. It's not bringing up a recollection of it. Like I said, I've seen the video on Headbangers Ball a few times, but this song is not emblazoned in my brain like it is to Nick.
And I think the lead parts that we've heard thus far are pretty cool. I mean, they're very a lot of stuff that's pretty memorable. Like,
yeah, I mean the hook. I get what you're saying with the hook, but I don't know.
like after each line of the verse, he's got that little single note kind of sustained.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I'm not a fan of the arrangement of this song, nor am I a fan of the lyrics or the vocal delivery.
Well, that cuts it down.
It's whittling away at it, but that trifecta, I'm not a fan of it.
Right through that danger zone.
Delivery was good.
Yeah, that was a kind of a brief solo, actually. I'm surprised at
he was playing to the song, or playing for the song, basically.
Yeah, and definitely in your face in terms of the mix of it. And,
kind of hit some almost human sort of a vibe like that solo.
Yeah, I mean, he stayed true to himself, which he's kind of essentially done his whole career, which he's to be admired for that. I mean, he didn't try to do some kind of crazy of the times ultra technical shredding there, which I appreciate. So, definitely infused his personality on there. So, nothing wrong with that.
But the closer you get to that fiery hole, you'll have to make it alone. When I think of how my life was spared from that near fatal wreck, if the devil wants to play his card game now, he's gonna play without an ace in his deck.
Have to stop it there. Most dramatically delivered line.
Yeah, that's pretty terrible from my standpoint. I mean, that's to me, that's the sort of thing that's to be laughed at, and I'm pretty much that was my reaction every time I happened across this on Headbangers Ball. It's like you wait for this to come just so you can laugh at it.
That was the climax of the song. Yeah. I mean, that's what it's all built up to that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is he trying to imply here that he's at this point realizing that he has an addiction problem and that he's going to attempt to remain sober? Was he?
Yeah, that's what I'm
attempting it at this point. Well, we know how that turned out.
Yeah,
it didn't last.
Took a little while longer. Yeah. But supposedly he's been clean for a while now.
It's not unusual. Mm-hmm. People get into trouble and proclaim to the world they're going to toe the line, and that goes out the window. But so he's not alone in that. But because when I saw Ozzy on the No Rest for the Wicked tour, the whole build up of that tour was that this was going to be his first sober tour, and I think he was, clean at that time, and it was a great show. I mean, he was full of energy, and the band was great, and he did a great job. But wasn't long after that when he fell off the wagon again.
But wasn't No More Tears he was supposed to have been in good
right.
shape?
I mean, I think he sustained it for a while, but he just came tumbling off the wagon soon after that. But and Motley Crue with Dr. Feelgood, that didn't last either. So.
Soldiers come, rock soldiers go. Some hear the drum, and some never know. Hey, rock soldiers, how do we know? Rock soldiers come. Soldiers go. Some hear the drum, and some never know. Rock soldiers.
There you go.
That's gonna do it. It's a long opening song, 5:05.
Can you just for fun, after that serious song we just heard, can you just play the sound effects from for the track that follows it?
Is it
what it goes
beginning?
in? Yeah, what it goes into next. Anyway.
And what song is that?
That's Breakout. That's Car Jam, ultimately, turned into Breakout. So.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
But yeah, it goes from that seriousness to Tom and Jerry kind of...
a Flintstones sound effect, if you will. Anything Hanna-Barbera.
Yep. And it makes sense. Just seems like Ace in a nutshell, right? Goofball, but then he's got these moments where he's... either trying to be serious or forced to be serious, depending on the situation.
You know, sitting here talking about it, it's pretty cool that, I mean, even though he didn't necessarily stay clean, you know, after this for a number of years, but then eventually, I mean, at least by all reports, he's been clean for a number of years now. So that's, you know, that's a
like
great
over
thing.
10 years.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool though that back then he had this, you know, this kind of proclamation about facing his problems and stuff like that. So pretty cool in retrospect.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the tough thing. It's like when you announce it to the world and then you don't do the work and you fall off the wagon, it can be a little...
Yeah. I mean, it
can be a tad, I don't know if embarrassing is the right word, but it's like when you shout it from the rooftops and you don't follow through on it, it's kind of a tough thing to live down. But the important thing is you stay recovered. A guy like him who obviously has suffered serious consequences from his substance abuse, you know, at some point you just have to realize that you have to do something about it, and you can't just use the disease thing as an excuse. You have to do the work. I mean, you do have control of not picking up the substances. Where you lose control is when the substances actually enter your body, and then all bets are off, because nobody can predict what's going to happen after that. But you absolutely have control of the decision to use the substance to begin with.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And you brought up the not No More Tears, the No Rest for the Wicked era, and you know, similar, I guess, in a way to this song. We had Demon Alcohol on that album,
right?
Which you know would
Suicide Solution years prior.
That's true.
Same deal.
That is true. Yeah.
And, you know, there's other stories like Phil Lynott on Black Rose album, Got to Give It Up and stuff. You know, we jokingly said about Dirty Livin', the cry for help that was never answered. I mean, you go down the list of rock soldiers who sang about their struggles with it, but, like, nobody stepped in to do anything about it. It seems like, which you can't really control what somebody else is going to do. But it's like these guys were openly singing and writing and performing about their struggles with it, and just all the hangers-on just enabled it.
But I don't know if it's the same in everybody's story, but I've heard or I've read about several rock stars in that type of situation where people probably wanted to help them, but if somebody said something, they were no longer in their entourage.
Right. Exactly.
It's like they're out there saying this, but when it actually comes down to it, they want people who are going to be enablers around them.
Exactly. So
it's a complicated situation.
It is.
Yeah. Well, Nick, you picked this song, so it's your turn to vote.
Actually, he didn't technically. He
deferred. I allowed it
choice
to happen.
3.
I enabled it.
Happen, yeah.
You did.
I'm gonna, of course, give this a sweet surrender. Come on.
It's sweet surrender.
Hell yes.
Always been a big fan of it. I get lyrically how Chris was saying that some of it comes off a little silly. I get that, but I still love it, and it might have something to do with just being a kid and getting this CD and just loving everything on it. Even took me a while to love the song "Dolls," but it's because that's a little bit more out there, not as hard rock, really. But I think it's a great. I think
you even like Fractured too.
I like the whole Fractured saga, epic saga.
How many are there? 4?
I think to date there are 4.
Are there really 4 Fractured songs?
Yeah,
there are.
I didn't know that.
One of these days, Ace is going to put computer animation to them.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, something to look forward to.
Yeah. It's keeping me alive at this point.
Oh, imagine that. If Andy, with that outfit, if he got to sit there and watch that on his phone out on the lawn chair.
I would be living.
Phone in one hand, sprinkler, or not sprinkler, but hand sprayer in the other.
Water and some flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just always loved it. It's got huge sentimental value, and now that I've got my copy signed by all 4 guys, pretty awesome stuff. I like the song, and toward the beginning, Chris saying that it bore similarities to Creatures, which I never really made that connection explicitly before. That makes me like it even more now. So,
but you hear that, right?
I do, definitely, but I never specifically thought that made that sort of connection there. Love it. I think, it's Ace, so there's some silliness in some of the, way he would enunciate, and throw out some of the lyrics. But I think he pulls it off. I think it's a great dark guitar riff, the chord progression and everything. I actually like the arrangement. I think it's pretty cool. Love the album. Love the song. I don't know what else to say. Big fan. Kind of I'm gonna guess it's a kind of a gutsy move in a hard rock scene to come out and have a song where you're talking about wanting to get over your chemical addictions.
Well, like we said,
it's happened before.
Yeah, there's plenty of precedent for that.
Yeah, but I guess I don't know. I would imagine it's a liberating feeling for some of these guys when they finally put their version of it out.
Yeah. It is funny, though. It's such a mixed message because there's many songs telling you to do the opposite. And then after a while, it's like, no, don't do that anymore.
But it comes across in a glamorous way, though. It's like there's something about it where he's saying, ultimately, this is killing me or it could kill me. Mm-hmm. But then there's still something about it where it's like appealing. It's like, But yeah, living that lifestyle, that's still cool, even though it's going to kill me and I don't want to die.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, this is a little darker, but like basically every single Alice in Chains song
right,
is about this is killing me. and I don't want.
Well, the thing about
he didn't want to.
The thing about Alice in Chains, they never once glamorized it.
No,
like, he didn't say he was driving around in a DeLorean. He was pretty much as dark as you could possibly get. There was no glamorization of that whatsoever.
But there was this mixture of it's terrible for me, it's killing me, I need to stop, but then I'm not going to stop.
Yeah.
Right. And people, it's another thing. It's like people like that danger.
Yeah.
They get that sense of it. And another thing that these guys are legitimately, invested in the lyrics. They're not phoning it in or making it up. They're living it. Mm-hmm. The problem is there's real casualties of that. People say that all the time about Clapton. It's like he was great when he was on heroin. Once he kicked it, he was kind of lame. It's like, okay. And I tend to agree with that just because the material he put out when he was ridiculously whacked out on Smack was probably better than the stuff that came after that. But, he was definitely headed for the grave before he put that shit down, so...
Yeah. Do you want to vote?
Yeah. I'm going to... I got to give it a kick in the crotch.
Oh, my
goodness. Have to.
It's a humiliating kick in the crotch!
A DeLorean to the crotch.
Yeah, I mean...
the door opened up.
Like, for all the reasons I listed, but as I was listening to this and also as I was witnessing it at the expo, the thing that the kicker for me is that this song just... to me, has no discernible appeal to women. It's like, what woman is going to be thrusting her fist in the air to this crap? You just want to hear this, and it's like, so you can be surrounded by a bunch of pimply dudes who are going to be like all motivated by this thing, and it's like, I don't know, it's just not a scene that seems appealing to me. I don't know. It's
an interesting thing to think of, but I don't think that applies to all the music you like, because I'm sure there's plenty of music that's very
but I mean,
only.
Yeah, absolutely. Like for example, like the King Crimson stuff.
Yeah.
And like when we went and saw them, there were probably 7 women in the crowd of a couple thousand, and each one of them dragged their reluctantly, to put it politely, by the dweeb they were with at the show. But this is just like, I don't know, the whole theme of it and the haze and the choruses. It's like no woman is really invested in this, and it's like and if your woman knew you liked this, apologies to you, Nick, but if your woman knew you liked this, I have to think she would lose a little respect for you. That's just off the top of my head.
Either that, or she would just be like, it's a guy thing. I don't
Yeah,
get it. I don't care.
It's one of those guy things.
Let him have it.
This song is like the cargo shorts of songs. It's like, guys are into it, and they probably shouldn't be. This is like a half-sleeve shirt of songs. It's like it would be better if the shirt, if it was actually a short-sleeve shirt. It would look better on you. So that would mean the lyrics would have to be revamped, the vocals, go down the line. So that's why I'm kicking it.
All right.
Kicking it like a Monitor guy deserved at the foot of the stage of a Faith No More concert.
Yeah. All right. I will give it a Sweet Surrender.
It's Sweet Surrender! Hell yes.
Hell yes. This is a song, like I mentioned before, Nick used to listen to a lot of Frehley's Comet in the house. We didn't have enough space where you could really get away from it. So, I don't mean that necessarily.
Headphones weren't an option back then.
Nick wasn't willing.
I don't know that we had. I don't think
we had any real headphones at the time.
I don't think so. And I think we were in our 20s before we got a 1/4-inch headphone jack for anything. So
right. So, no, we didn't have any. But I didn't necessarily mean that in a negative way. It was just, if someone was listening to something, you were hearing it. But heard this a million times, and for a long time I didn't like this song. I liked a lot of the other songs, like I liked Insane a lot. Different album, but good song. I like Breakout. But as I've aged, I like this song a lot more. So
Really?
maybe I've slowed down. And I'm with Chris on all the cheesiness of it, but I'm okay with it. You know, like certain artists, you're fine with a little bit of cheese. I'm fine. I'm fine with the Ace cheese. He deserves it. He's earned it.
Well, he's beloved because he's a true original.
Yeah.
And he just, for all these years, he hasn't stopped being that guy. So if some cheese comes with it, then
it is what it is. I'll accept it happily.
If you order regular Ace and you get loaded Ace, I don't mean alcohol. I mean like a baked potato. then that's all right.
Yeah. That's just fine.
Bacon bits on them.
Oh, yeah.
Sour cream, chives. Gotta have chives on a loaded baked potato.
Some accidental little pieces of broccoli in there from a different order.
That works. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's like a garbage salad, so to speak. That's the whole point of it. Just whatever, anything goes on there, basically. Whatever's in the kitchen, just toss it.
Throw it on there.
But you gotta have bacon bits. Probably got to have chives. Sour cream is probably a must.
Those are essentials.
Anything else is just pile it on there.
Yeah.
Loaded baked potato.
I love the loaded option.
Anytime there's a loaded option,
Yeah.
I'm getting it. I don't care what the item is. Fries, potato, whatever.
Isn't that the name
Nachos.
of Duff McKagan's solo band?
Yeah.
Loaded?
There's a baked potato on the first album cover.
People throwing loaded baked potatoes at the stage whenever they play.
There's a subtext at the bottom of the album. Add 150.
Yeah, right, exactly.
All right. Well, unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know. Rock Soldiers.
Well, some hear the drum, and Chris never knows.
You know, once that vote came in, the cat got up and walked to the door. He's ready to leave. He's not interested in what we have to say anymore. We've lost credibility with Batman.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. Well, you guys didn't. I did.
Yeah.
So.
Well, guess what?
That's just the fucking way it is.
And guess what else? It's time for a commercial. Oh, man.
You know, that was for Cougs, wasn't it?
I hope so.
I wasn't listening, but I'm pretty sure it said go buy more Cougs.
Well, that's what I heard, regardless of what they said. Use your money wisely. Buy some more Cougs. So
Cougs is a term used often on rigs of dad.
Yeah, I've seen it on there.
That's where I got it from, actually.
It's got to be. There's a package over there by you, Nick.
And a knife.
And a knife.
Whoa.
That's
I didn't
right.
notice that.
Yes. I don't know what's in it. I know who it's from. It's from...
Who is it from?
Our friend, Tommy Lombardozzi. Sent us a package.
Of the Hoof podcast.
That's right.
Which podcast?
The Hoof.
The Hoof.
Like an animal's foot.
Yep.
Really? That's what it's called?
Yep.
Why am I hearing about this now?
I don't know, man.
Better now than never.
What do they talk about? Animals' feet?
Every week it's another animal's foot. They break down an animal's foot in detail. Nick's opening.
Oh, he knows how to pack a box, that's for sure.
Oh, boy.
Careful, Nick. Careful.
Easy with that blade. It's hard to close that one. Just leave it. Don't even.
Yeah.
We don't need an accident.
Last I need is a knife open an artery, spew blood all over the place.
Yeah. I need to drive Nick to the hospital.
So we have little individually wrapped kind of rubber banded things. One for Chris, one for Andy, and one for me.
Like framed.
Well, he is
pictures.
He's an artist, and I believe we got some. Oh wow! I believe I got some original.
Even the handwriting is beautiful.
I have a garlic dragon image.
I have a Chris pissing, Calvin pissing.
Wow!
Piss on that.
Wow.
Picture.
Oh, and you know what I've got? I've got I've got a container full of yams that I'm holding, and a lot of chest hair.
Let me see that garlic dragon. Wow, that's really cool.
That is awesome. I'm going to hang that
awesome. I've got a pretty good one here. It's Paul Stanley doing the pose from my profile picture on Facebook. The hand on the chin.
Wow.
Incredible stuff.
This is great.
Man.
This one's going in an esteemed place in my home office.
And I got some Kiss stickers.
Yeah, I got some too.
Did you get a Hoof podcast sticker?
Did I?
I did.
I don't think I did. That's okay, but...
Oh, and I got some Kiss ones too. I got to Call Me Dr. Love.
I'm not going to complain.
I got them on the Empire State Building, which you couldn't get me up there ever.
Not a fan of heights.
Hell no.
Me either.
That's terrifying.
I have nightmares once in a while about being just sitting on top of a building like that.
I don't even like looking at that picture.
Yeah,
I mean, thank you for the sticker.
Either.
It's stylized enough where it doesn't scare me, but looking at those actual photos scares me.
And then we have a note.
Oh.
Pretty nice stationery. Some Jack Kirby stationery.
Ooh.
Which I believe he's on a podcast about Jack Kirby.
There's another one. It's called Jacked Kirby.
Yeah.
Who's Jack Kirby?
A legendary comic book artist.
Yeah, no clue.
Hey, boners.
Oh.
Tommy from Brooklyn here.
Brooklyn. Damn.
Yeah, I've been meaning to mail this out to you guys for months.
Wow.
Finally got off your ass and did it.
But then the world got crazy.
Yes,
but
it did.
Here you
That's
go.
True.
I hope you like the art and stickers. Keep up the great work, guys. Love, Tommy. Thank you so much, Tommy.
Yeah.
I love this picture.
We gotta post a picture of that. Let me get a close up of that over here. The garlic dragon. Yeah, that's good. And it kind of looks like you, which I don't mean that as an insult. I think he figured something out here where
Let me see.
He must have like that special sort of eye, special sort of vision that you can tell. Oh, like I can draw something, but then like there's like a guy who's an actual artist.
Right.
There's something with proportion and all that.
Yeah.
And that. That I can't see.
He's damn good.
Yeah, that's very impressive.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I love this. Definitely hanging this up.
Some tea sauce yams indicated on the bottom.
It's spelled out. Nick just can't say.
Oh, it is.
I can't say it. Can't bring myself to say it.
That word's a no-go?
I don't know.
I guess these days you don't know what you can say anymore. I'm going to blame it on that.
I ain't the one.
Yeah. Well, that's very nice.
Yeah.
So thank you, Tommy.
Yeah,
very much appreciated.
Cool.
No,
the rest of you listening, you need to step up your game. Send us gifts.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. We used to get things from overseas like regularly.
Yeah.
People have stopped listening to the show.
Well, when we insult every country every time.
That's true.
We talk about them.
Although, now that we're back in kind of the Kiss realm, maybe some people
they'll come back.
Come flocking back. Who knows?
It's like a homecoming football game.
Exactly.
Well, we had the marching band in the song, so
everybody's fatter.
Yeah.
After 3 months of lockdown.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Tommy, and thank you to everybody who listened to the show. If you want to add some songs to the list, go to potofthunder.com and we'll pull those at random.
Add the entire B-52's catalog, somebody.
Yes.
We're giving you we're authorizing you to do that.
And the Fred album.
That is what it's called, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. The one with his like grade school picture.
Yeah. Please add that too.
Yeah, I would love to do a cut from that. That'd be great. Never heard it, but I'm sure I would love it.
You would, at least from what I've heard. I haven't heard the whole thing, but I've heard enough. All right. We'll be back next week.
And I think I'm going
We did it.
We did it.